I compare Tom Brady in certain respects to Kobe and to Derek Jeter.
Mm-hmm.
And towards the end of their careers, Derek Jeter and Kobe, great franchise guys and everything, did everything they could behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, everything to bring pressure to bear on their teams to keep them right where they were at a very high price point, too. Like, that's what happened. The Yankees didn't make, I love Derek Jeter. The Yankees didn't make the playoffs Jeter's last season. Know why? Because they paid Derek Jeter and hit him second in the lineup and played him at shortstop, and he wasn't good enough anymore. And that was part of a 3-year deal where he still got paid. Kobe, because of the recent tragedy, but same thing, was really paid like a top-notch player, even when he was hurt. It was hard for him to get on the court and everything. And Kobe and Jeter, behind the scenes, did everything they could to bring pressure to bear. Well, what happened last time when Belichick was getting ready to move on to Garoppolo? Whether or not it was that season, he was clearly grooming him. Tom Brady did an end around Belichick, went to the owner, and they bounced Garoppolo, who was in the Super Bowl, by the way, this year. In the Super Bowl, with a chance to win it, with a 10-point lead late.
Really? That's where we going?
But yeah, absolutely. So now the cupboard is bare for the Patriots, and Brady wants a commitment from Belichick, and Belichick won't give it to him. So what's he doing? He's bringing public pressure to bear on the Patriots, which tells me he actually wants to stay. Whatever messages he's sending out through emissaries behind the scenes and all that stuff, he actually wants to stay, but he wants the Patriots to commit. Belichick's not going to do it. He's bringing pressure to bear on
Just
Belichick
by being more visible?
and on absolutely
Well, how
on
does that
Belichick
create
and
pressure,
on
though?
Kraft. I'm really going to go here. I'm really going to go there. Actually, the problem is the Patriots, they don't have enough. The Patriots don't have enough. The Patriots have an elite defense. And by the way, in the last 11 seasons, you know how many times an outside receiver led the Patriots in anything? Like 0. It's always a slot receiver or a tight end, an undrafted guy or a guy drafted in the 7th round. And usually what Belichick does is he has a threat on the outside, but usually it's not an elite guy. It's just an outside threat. Those guys you can acquire. When I'm hearing stuff like, well, he has to go out and get an elite top 5 outside receiver. No, he doesn't. He never, like Randy Moss, a couple of examples. Usually that's not how the Patriots do it. But Brady needs much more around him now. So that's why people are really saying that he can't get it done with what he's normally gotten done. And he has successfully changed the focus around from what he can't do to what the Patriots don't have. Patriots largely resemble the team they normally resemble, but Brady has faded. He is bringing pressure to bear on Belichick and Kraft, public pressure to try to stay, in fact, is my belief.
Well, my response to you is you need to make up your mind. Because just a couple of weeks ago, I recall you saying that Brady obviously is on the outs with Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick did not want him. And Brady is looking to move on because, excuse me, why sit up there and deal with Bill Belichick if Bill Belichick doesn't want you? That's what you said. Yeah. Now you're telling me he really wants to stay. So what I'm saying to you, that's what you just said. You just talked about him wanting to stay, and this is all to bring public pressure down on Bill Belichick. Oh. Tom Brady being beloved is nothing new to Tom Brady. Matter of fact, I think if anything, you can make an argument this is definitely his agent because he looked very, very uncomfortable there, to be quite honest with you. This is somebody on the outside, PR, agent, whomever, really compelling him to do what he's doing. But what it really, really comes down to in terms of New England, the New England Patriots, who do they have? Jared, Stidham, whatever, out of Auburn, a fourth-round pick. Not to say that anything, that mean anything because Brady was a 6th-rounder. But the point is, you have your relationship with Kraft. You don't have a Garoppolo waiting in the wings, per se. I think Brady knows that if he wants to stay, he can stay. It's just that, again, you don't mind being out there front and center and feeling the love and entertaining the possibility of moving beyond New England because of your personal relationship with Bill Belichick. I don't think he's trying to convince anybody of anything. He knows he's beloved. Mr. Kraft definitely loves him and wants him to stay.
Dan.
The issue is him and Bill Belichick, and we all know that the crowd ain't going to affect Bill Belichick. Not one bit.
And the first time in 25 years, he's getting the opportunity to be recruited. This is exactly what Tom Brady envisioned. This is why he set his contract up to be this way. I mentioned the skill people back in New England. Then the next step is this. They don't have that much money to spend. They have like the 12th most money in free agency. That's not a lot. So you're looking at it going, wait, if we pay Tom Brady what he wants, there's not a lot of people to go pay him. Hang on. There's not a lot of money to go pay people. Second of all, they have one pick in the top 80 of the NFL draft. Again, how are you going to make Tom Brady feel like he won't experience last year again? And they play the hardest schedule in football next year. So I think Tom Brady and Patriot fans need to get to this point of realizing, wait, Tom Brady's embracing change. And we better get comfortable with the idea, because the interaction with him and Julian Edelman, you know, like when your children decide at some point to make you food and you're watching them make it and you go, that's going to be disgusting. And then your kid asks you to eat it and you have to say it's good. And like, hey, mom or dad, how does it taste? And you're like, oh, it tastes great, even though it tastes terrible. That's what it looked like right there. It looked like Edelman's like, you're coming back. And Brady's like, yeah, whatever.
This is where you and I differ. Number one, when Tom Brady was at his height, he was able to take mediocre receivers and make them look really good. That's gone.
Right.
He just had the problem with the Patriots last year. Going into the season, we felt about them the way we normally felt about them the last 5 or 10 years, right? Maybe they don't have the talent this year. But then cooler heads would say, every year we say that.
Sure.
And then there they are in the AFC Championship game. So last year was really, but what did they do? They wrote an elite defense. And
that elite defense that you mentioned, 5 of those guys are free agents.
Okay, but that happens all the time with the Patriots too, and Belichick figures it out. Suddenly we don't have faith in Belichick? No. In fact, that narrative has been turned around, and that's Brady putting public pressure on Belichick and changing the focus to Belichick and thereby pressuring Kraft.
Do you think Brady wants to go back to New England?
I think his preference would probably be that the Patriots made a real big commitment to him. I don't think they're going to, but I think that would be his preference.
Here's where your argument makes no sense. First of all, you've repeatedly acknowledged Bill Belichick doesn't give a damn about what the public thinks. You talk about the pressure that Kraft would impose upon Belichick. It's already there. It's always been there. It's been there from the time that he was willing to get rid of Garoppolo. It's repeatedly been there. Now, Kraft may not get involved in the money, per se, meaning that if Bill Belichick says, excuse me, we don't need to compromise our cap because of such and such a reason, he might not come to Brady's defense in that regard.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.